same old story. You care, but you don't love me. Though I know it, it still hurts to hear the truth. Don't expect me to forget you. I love you, and I can't hold back the love I want to give to you. I know it isn't easy. I understand you leaving, and I'm happy just to see you when I can. Do you understand my reasons? I love you as a woman in love. I'm so one thing. Just give me love when you can. If you need me, a woman in love. On Thursday, I'll give you all that I have. Completely, a woman in love. Love so rewarded. So don't be sorry, baby. I guess you think you're crazy, but to be there when you want me is enough. I'm no child, I'm a woman. I love you, and I'll always be around when you need a woman's love. So you see the same old story. You care, but you don't love me. Though I know it still hurts to hear the truth. I'm not child, I'm a woman. Say I love you, and I'll always be around when you need a woman's love. Just give me love when you can. If you need me, a woman in love. Go on Thursday, and I'll give you all that I have completely. A woman in love. One day. Just give me love when you
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. Colin Anthony's on. SHACKA to the fame. Light Pang make certain you're on your way, you know. Her name is Nisa Konisa. First time in the studio since December. Nice vibe, I love it. Share the link, tell somebody. Get everybody on early because you know what? Ralston Hyman is going to be here this morning and we're going to be reviewing Jamaica's economy. We're going to be looking at possible local government election. A whole lot of things, you know. Lot of things this morning. Thanks for those of you who stick and stayed with me last week. It was a boom program in the end, though. I'll tell you, really serious program in the end. And we just want to thank the producer for that program. Natalie Wright was right there taking care of everything, making sure that we had those guests. And we really got some good guests. So we just want to thank everybody for staying with us this morning. It's going to be a very, very interesting morning. So share the link, call somebody, tell them to join us. We are live and we're going to be here until 11 o'clock. Until 11 o'clock, we're going to be here. All right. So I that did it, so. All right, let's see this then.
Ladies, I think it's time we stop waiting on these good-for-nothing men to come hit on us. I think it's time that we go out and find a man or a choice. I'm a lover girl. Lonely little lover girl. And I've searched the world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. And I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. I might have to go to Paris, I might even have to go to Rome. Makes me no different, If I bring a lover boy back home, tired of sitting around, having nothing to do, when I know I could be somewhere making real sweet love to you. Wow, I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl. Sweet, sweet little lover girl. And I've searched the world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. Yes, I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. If you want to know what a sweet lover girl can do, she can stay all night and make real sweet love to you. When the morning comes, she don't even have to go. Just reach over and touch the girl, and she'll make sweet love some more. Well, I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. Yes, I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, Yes, I've searched the world all over, trying to find me a lover boy, 'cause I'm a lover girl. Yes, I've searched this world all over, trying to find me a lover boy.
Yeah. The sounds of Nisa Kanisa. All right. Portland Spice TV. We have to give thanks and praise to the Lord Jesus Christ. It is He that had made us, and not we ourselves. We are His people, sheep of His pasture. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving, and into His courts with praise, knowing that the Lord, He is God. One God, Malona God. Nisa Konisa. Yeah, man. So, I want to play the Nikki Thomas here because a lot of Jamaicans don't understand their roles and function as a citizen. Morning, President Fitzroy, Elaine Brown, good morning. Minorigites peeps. And Colin, how come the man, the employee, I guess a NEPA you want to say? Yes, we're going to look at all of that this morning. Because, as I say, I want to talk to the citizens of this country. That as a citizen, you have a role and function, and I keep telling you how I love the National Pledge. Because the National Pledge speaks to how each and every one of us must participate. Yeah? Each and every one of us must play a role in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. You have some people who just sit on one side and them not do nothing to advance the welfare of the human race. And a lady said to me the other day that she not vote. So I said to her, why you not vote? And she said she just not voting. So I said to her, are you a wealthy person? She said no. But more important, I said to her, do you have children? She said, yes. I said, are they still going to school? She said, yes. A private school, my pitney then go. I said, oh. But what jumped out at me same time is that you don't really have much private high school in Portland. In fact, you only have one private high school in Portland. So I said to her, so when them leave prep school, are they going to go to Titchfield or Compre or Happy Grove or Fair Prospect? She said, sure. And I said, and you still not vote? No, she not seen a reason for vote. At that stage, I said to her, I wish you luck. Because it is bothering me, the amount of people who say that they are not voting. But also concerning are the politicians who are going around and tell people not to vote. So, one of the things that I have done and we will be doing is setting up people to record these politicians who are telling people not to vote and who are offering them things for their votes. And I'm throwing it out here this morning. That we don't need to record these politicians. We have phone. Yeah? When we see them come, we can put the phone on record. Record the conversation. Because if you're a politician and you're encouraging people not to vote, then you're a wolf in sheep clothing. If you're offering people stuff for them to vote, you're also breaking the law. It is illegal. But this morning, I want to focus on we the people. This is a singer from out of Oak Bay, Portland. International singer. His name is Nicky Thomas.
We people, they call donkeys and fools. Don't let us stand around this town and let what others say come true. If we do, we're good for nothing. Old makers, and our child still grown up syphilis chicken. Now we can hardly stand the test, or is that really worth it? We people, they call donkeys and fools. There's ain't no time for segregation. Talk about brown and Indian too. Indian girl, can't you tell? You're just the surface of what dog deep well. And if your mind could really see, you know your color is the same as me. Pardon me, brother, as you stand in your glory. I know you won't mind if I tell the whole story. Pardon me, brother, I know we come a long, long way, but let not be so satisfied. Tomorrow may be a brighter day. Now I know we have great respect for the sisters and mothers, or even better yet. But there's a dogo in the street, loving one brother and killing the other. When the time comes and we're really free, there'll be no brothers left, you see. We people, they call donkeys and fools. Don't let us stand around. Let what others say come true. Are we good for nothing? Not child still grown up. Syphilis. Pardon me, Father. As you stand in your glory, I know you won't mind
Nicky Thomas, we the people, they call larkies and fools. And that's why some people go out there and tell blatant lies. Talk things that they know are not true. Because a lot of us don't pay attention. Morning, Natalie. Mrs. Phillips, good morning to you. A lot of people don't pay attention to what is happening in the country. And therefore, people can just come and tell them all kind of garbage and they believe it. I heard the junior minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs told Jody and Quarry, don't remember if it's this week or last week, that for the first time in 40 years, our export outweighs our import. We're going to have Ralston on this morning at 9:30. I'm going to ask him that specific question. Because he told Jodian that, and Jodian did not question him. She just allowed it to slide. And this is what happens when you have journalists who are aligned and afraid to say that they are aligned. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jodi's aligned. I don't know. Don't know the lady. But as a member of the Fourth Estate, we have a responsibility that when we interview people and we are aware that they are telling lies, let me use that blatant word, it is our responsibility to interject. Because as I have always told you, that my mantra is not balance. My mantra is not balance. My mantra is truth. Because you see truth? Truth is consistent. You see truth? Truth no need no balance. Balance is hypocrisy. You are a hypocrite when your mantra is to be balanced. Not saying, if you have no balance at all. Don't get me wrong. Because some people like to take discussion from one extreme to the next. But my first responsibility is to be truthful at all times. And once I talk the truth, who want vex, just vex. Morning, Anthony Morgan. Big up yourself. Because anytime you talk a truth and because you feel say it hurt the next side, you start search for something to balance out the equation. I say it again. That's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Just speak the truth and speak it ever. Cause it what it will. Yeah, man. A friend of mine sent me all the information on Jolie and Silvera being arrested and now being charged. And he's saying to me if it's not a shame and if it's not a big deal. I responded to him and said, yes, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal that a former legislature is being charged for murdering his wife. It's a big deal. Very big deal. The good thing is that if the police have information and did their investigation and come to the conclusion that he should be charged, he was charged. I ask another question though. A man who was the prime minister's lawyer, a man who was the lawyer of Andrew Brogard Radam Holness, a man was murdered in his house. The police in their report said they find no evidence of forced entry. Hello? They also confirm that one other person was in the house. And my Jamaican people, people of the world, the man that was in the house that was still alive and is still alive, to my knowledge, has not yet, after many years, has not yet even been taken to the station. Now you work this out for me. Somebody get murdered in our house. They find a spent shell, so a gunshot was fired. Whole heap of stab. And another man was in the house. And the police is saying that this man is not a suspect. Then if he's not a suspect, they must know who killed his mother. Work that out for me. How that is possible. But I am a believer and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And I also believe that no sin goes unpunished. I also want to remind my friend that Dr. Linville Bloomfield, late member of parliament for Eastern Portland, was murdered in his house. Murdered. And the information we are getting is that 4 DNA samples was extracted from the crime scene. 4. One man was arrested and charged. And watch this. Given bail and was on bail for quite some time. And on the morning of court, after visiting his lawyer, he disappeared. Disappeared. And we have heard nothing more. Nothing more from the authorities, the police, or anybody. But I will tell you this. God now sleep. And your day will come. Believe me, it will come. Don't think, say, it is over. It's not over. Not over.
Tell me what more can I really do to please a girl like you? Just tell me what more can I really do? I bought a fancy dress just to make it look the best. Diamond and pearl in the tour around the world. The latest hairstyle that make you have to smile. What more can I really do? Just tell me what more can I really do to please a girl like you? Just tell me what more can I really do? Cause you're not brave, girl. Yes, sir, the sea.
Well, Gilly, you're totally right. Gilly's saying if the journalists don't know the truth, they can't debunk a lie. It is serious. It is serious. Wish I had a hammer.
I would hammer in the morning, hammer in the evening, all over this land. I would hammer out danger, I would hammer out warning, I would hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Boy.
Morning, Audrey.
If I had a song to sing, I would sing it in the morning, sing it in the evening, all over this land. I would sing out danger, I would sing out warning, I would sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. But I don't have the hammer, I only have the rod my dog. To play it in the dance hall, and even at a party. I want to play it in the New York, I want to play it in the London, I want to play it in the Canada, Italy, too. All over this world.
Yeah, man. The man is half pint. Yeah, man, reach all whole heap of quarter and gallon by now. Ralston, I man, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
But good, you know, what about you?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man.
All the best for the New Year, sir. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. And we wish for your
Yeah, man.
good health and wealth, my brother.
All right, same to you and your team and the family.
Blessings, man. Ralston, we want to look at last year and our economic performance. How did Jamaica perform last calendar year? We know the financial year has not yet ended, but let's look at the calendar year for the average man in the street.
Well, for the average man in the street, they say that it was a very bad year. Things are getting harder on the ground. Prices continue to increase. Inflation climbed by 0.5% in December, 6.9% on a point-to-point basis. So the people are telling you about the cost of living, yeah?
Yes.
Far outstripping the wages that they are getting. So their standard of living is dropping.
Ralston, and I want to go to this question early because it's something that I was talking about. I heard junior minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Orlando Turlang, on an interview with Jody and Quarry earlier this week. And he told her that for the first time in 40 years, Jamaica's export outweighed our import.
Total rubbish. Nothing like that. The trade deficit as at the end of the first 8 months of the year was 3.667 billion. He's clueless.
3.667 billion US. But that's not clueless, Ralston. That's not clueless. That's a blatant lie.
Total merchandise exports were 1.411 billion. Total imports were 5.078 billion. The figures are on Scotland's website, so they are lying to the country.
So
and one thing that one, go ahead.
No, you finish.
Yeah, one thing that we notice with a lot of these talk show hosts, when the people come and say things that are incorrect, because they themselves don't know, they can't correct them, so they are doing a disservice to the public.
Well, that's exactly what.
Because those numbers are publicly available on Statins website. In fact, on Monday we'll see the trade numbers for September.
Right.
So we know when those things are going to be released. We know when they are released. So if you're not in that business, then you shouldn't be on a talk show allowing people to mislead the country.
Is it though that the government is on a trajectory to deceive? Because the man said it blatantly.
Yeah, man, because they're campaigning. So what they're on the campaign trail. So they're trying to deceive the people to boost their stocks. Yeah, but the problem is that the media has a responsibility to know. So if you are going to be talking to somebody about the economy, you need to go and do some research on the economy as a member of the media, if you're really a real member of the media, so that you can disseminate accurate information to the public. Because
and not allow your guests to come on and mislead the public.
Precisely. Yeah. So that's about journalism.
Ralston, the Bank of Jamaica has been intervening quite often of late in the US dollar market. Speak to us about that.
Well, they have been intervening in the market because the exchange rate is under pressure because, as we said, the trade deficit was 3.66 billion. Net remittances for the period January to September were 2.53 billion, and the net flows from tourism were only 1.16 billion. So the currency is under significant pressure. So the central bank intervening with the reserves in order to maintain the rate, which is not good. We're not earning enough from our exports and we are importing too much. Just as simple as that. And the remittances are not growing as they used to grow once because life is hard in America. Although inflation is coming down in America, it is still relatively high. Yeah. So the people's purchasing power is shrinking, particularly our people.
So they don't have the same amount of send that they normally send to us.
Precisely, right. And the Don Anderson survey supported that.
Now, when we intervene in the US market, in the US dollar market, when the Bank of Jamaica intervene, it comes at a cost to us as well, don't it?
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that cost.
Well, when they intervene $100 billion, $100 million, that's 16 billion Jamaican, huh?
And
that's on the one hand, that's upfront. And when the central bank intervenes and it gives a false sense of comfort that the exchange rate is stable, it does not give people the incentive to export more or to import less because they are putting the country in a false sense of security.
Do we need a policy position on our level of import based on the fact that it doesn't look like anytime soon we'll be exporting more than our import, contrary to what the minister told Jody? And do we need a policy position to tone down the imports?
But it's even a disservice to talk to those ministers about macroeconomic policy because those fellas don't know anything about macroeconomic policy.
Well, so to be honest, though, Ralston, the interview wasn't really about that, but he put that in the mix.
Yeah, man. All right. So watch it now. The biggest import we have is oil. That's 2.5 billion. So what we need is an energy policy. For 8 years, this administration has done nothing about energy. So what we need is an energy policy to boost renewable energy and reduce the imports of fossil fuel energy, which is climbing. Crude oil prices climbed again yesterday. Brent is now trading. Brent is a British benchmark. West Texas is the US benchmark. West Texas closed at $78 per barrel yesterday. Brent closed at $84 per barrel because the Houthis fired another missile through another tanker in the Red Sea yesterday. US inventories are also down by 23 million barrels. So what we're seeing as the crisis intensifies in the Middle East, crude oil prices tend to climb, right? So that's a big problem. So we need an energy policy. The biggest way to cut our imports is to have an energy policy where we reduce the importation of fossil fuel energy. So that's the biggest bill.
Stop there as it relates to fossil fuel, because 2016 in the election campaign, the GLP told us that they will bring our electricity bill down.
Yeah, man.
They made a lot of promises.
It's now multiple times higher than where it was in 2016, and we have the highest energy bill almost in the entire world right now. That makes our exports uncompetitive.
But you also said,
go ahead.
You also said that for the 8 years they have been in power, they have done nothing
about energy, and in fact, they have also postponed. Yeah, good point. And I'm telling you that they issued a call for energy bidders recently. That was supposed to be in February. And they now say they have postponed it until April. We just had a conversation with Wayne Chen, who is the energy advisor to the minister. And he told us that they have postponed it again. So while the crisis is stepping up internationally, they are postponing the dateline for bidders for 100 kilowatts of renewable energy.
So it's not a priority then?
Yeah, precisely. They have not treated these things as a priority. And that is what is driving the country's import bill.
Not leaving energy yet. You just told us that crude price ended at $70 per barrel. Since 2016, and the minister that decided not to continue the edge insurance, how many times oil went under the 67.50 cents a barrel?
Never.
So that is also a blunder that cost us in this country, isn't it?
Yeah, man, because they don't understand economics, particularly international economics. They don't understand anything about those things. Yes, so that's a big blunder, of course, most certainly.
We look at, Ralston, the Auditor General putting out a report the other day that she is unable to report on $1.6 trillion of expenditure. Explain to my listeners, what does that mean?
All right. So GDP, total market value of all final goods and services that we are expected to produce this year, is valued at $3 trillion. So 1.6 trillion is 60% of GDP. What the Auditor General is saying, that money has been spent and there's no accountability as to what was done with that money. And it ranges from the office of the Prime Minister to the Houses of Parliament. They have not accounted for $1.6 trillion worth of taxpayers' money.
And let me just explain to our listeners, the Auditor General has a responsibility.
Yeah, man,
that when you do the budget and you give the ministries all that money that you hear in the budget, after the spending, the Auditor General responsibility is to go in and ensure that that money was spent the way it was meant to be spent, and that we get value for money. The Auditor General is saying that $1.6 trillion, there's no reporting on. She can't tell we nothing about it because the ministries, including the office of the Prime Minister, has not done what they were supposed to do, that she could reconcile the books.
And here's what they are supposed to do. The Permanent Secretary is supposed to provide the appropriations accounts to the Auditor General. The appropriations accounts say what they did with the money. Now, the Permanent Secretary's boss is the Financial Secretary, and the boss of the Financial Secretary is the Minister of Finance. So Nigel Clark is ultimately responsible to ensure that there's proper accounting for that money.
The best finance minister in the world?
Yeah, man. And he's presiding over and he's presiding over 60% of GDP, which cannot be accounted for.
And they are asking for a third term.
Yep.
No, listeners.
No, that could never happen in another country where a government cannot account for 60% of GDP and the people still support them.
And let me just make it clear, because you see, I like truth and honesty. Let me remind the people, my name is Colin Bell. I am the PNP candidate for East Portland. So,
hold on.
Me align.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with anything. The Auditor General's report was published in last week's Gleaner for everybody to see.
Ralston, I like to tell people, I'm not drawing a cloud over nobody's face. I want them to remember. But the truth must be revealed.
Right, so you can also tell them that if they doubt what you're saying, they can look in the Gleaner of last week, Sunday, to see what the Auditor General said.
And it has been on every newscast.
Every newscast.
So if you're interested in the running of the country, you would know these things. Ralston, I want to go to Dr. Christopher Tufton and the massive blunder as it relates to Cornwall Regional Hospital. Where are we in terms of the spend on Cornwall Regional now?
Well, 16 billion is gone already, and he says that we might complete the job in the year 2026. That involves another 4 to 5 billion preliminarily. So by the time we end that, it is going to cost us about $25 billion.
To refurbish Cornwall Regional. They broke ground for a new hospital in Spanish Town. No, hold on. They broke ground for a hospital in Spanish Town. How much they said that hospital going to take for bill?
What they said was something
$5.6 billion.
5.change billion. Yeah.
Right.
But here there's going to be the difference. There's not going to be any significant overrun on that project because the IDB and the European Union are involved. You can't ramp with them on the money.
But you know my point, Ralston?
Yeah.
The money that they spent on Cornwall Regional could have built 5 hospitals.
Correct. Yeah, man. That's correct.
5 hospitals. And the United States of America puts out a travel advisory on Jamaica saying that the health system in Jamaica is terrible. So reconsider going to Jamaica. What did the Minister of Health said?
Well, we never heard his response, but Kamina Johnson spoke to the American ambassador. But the fact of the matter, Colin, is that travel advisories have very little impact on visitor arrivals to Jamaica. People still come. So we're up to 4 million visitors last year, despite multiple travel advisories over the years. That will have no impact. So they know that that will have no impact. So they ignore those things. What we need is a proper health system, not only for visitors, but for all Jamaica.
That's why I bring up the point now, Ralston. Yeah. That's why I bring up the point. Because most of the guests who come to Jamaica will not go to the hospital or don't get sick. But it is an indictment now to say to the government that you're not providing health care for your citizens.
Precisely.
People are sitting on chairs in the corridor.
Yeah, man.
A young lady told me yesterday morning that she went to the hospital with an accident victim. And the blood was running down in the person's ears. And she called the nurse. And the nurse said that they don't have enough cotton or gauze to do that. She have to save the cotton and the gauze to dress when the doctor come.
Yeah, man, because they are not funding those things. That's correct. And that is why we are saying to you, if they really understood economics, for an economy to grow, it means that there has to be more investments in things like healthcare, education, transportation, investments in their people, infrastructure, roads. Those are things that grow an economy. Not cheap financialization where the financial sector, money from the people is transferred to the financial sector, because the financial sector is supposed to be supported by the real sectors of the economy. What we have is the financial sector feeding on the real sectors of the economy. And the Minister of Finance operates as if he's the president of the Bankers Association rather than the finance minister of all Jamaica.
I heard him on a program explaining why the machines are not working. And I said to myself, is that the minister's role? He was telling the host that people throwing coins in the machine and stuffing people, and that's why the machine. Is that his responsibility, or his responsibility is to the people of Jamaica to ensure that the banks deliver a service that is fitting of what we're spending?
That is why I'm telling you that he operates more like the best president of the Jamaica Bankers Association than the Minister of Finance, because what he's saying is the same thing that Audrey Tugwell Henry is saying. What he should be saying is that we are going to make rules like what they do in Barbados or like what they do in the UK to ensure that the banks make the people have access to their money, ensure that the machines are working. Because that's what happens in Barbados, which is close to Jamaica, and that is what is happening in the UK, and that is what happens in the US.
You have reminded us on this program before that Dr. Clark used to work in the banking system.
Yeah, man.
Do you believe that that is clouding his judgment?
Yeah, man. Also, the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, they are conflicted. So apart from being incompetent, they're also conflicted.
Right. And that is not serving us well, obviously.
No.
Speak to us about the surplus that the government is bragging about, Ralston.
Which one?
The budgetary surplus.
Yeah, well, they are running 14 billion ahead of target in terms of the fiscal surplus. Yeah. A lot of that money should have been pumped in education and healthcare. And that. The Minister of Finance says that he had to slash the capital budget by 7.4 billion because we couldn't spend the money. Now, this is not the first time that he's telling us that. Part of the Minister of Finance's job is to ensure that we fully spend our capital budget, because it is a capital budget that is going to drive growth and investment. So when you don't spend a capital budget, it means that you retard growth. If you look at what is happening, the rate of economic growth has been decelerating rapidly over the last 3 years. For the third quarter of last year, we were down to 2.1% from 5.9% during the same period of the previous year. Even the World Bank mentioned it. And as the World Bank says, we need more investments in things like infrastructure, education, and healthcare if the rate of economic growth is going to go faster. Because what is happening is that the world economy itself is slowing down. And if we are slowing down while the world economy is slowing down, then that's a big problem. So we need to boost growth. So they have that surplus and they're not spending it in the areas that they need to spend. And then they boast about the surplus. What they are doing is conducting an accounting exercise rather than running a country.
So, if you have this surplus, our roads are in a deplorable condition.
Precisely.
Our schools are having serious problems. In fact, my niece, who is a sixth former at Titchfield, called me the other day and she said, Uncle, me need a job. Now she's at lower 6. So I said, why you need a job? Because not now go on a school. I said, what you mean not now go on a school? You need to finish 6th form so that you can achieve the goals that you have set. She said to me that the teacher, the science teacher, I think she's doing the sciences, they don't have certain teachers at the school. So therefore the classes that she is interested in, they are not happening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a common problem because they are not spending on the sector. That's the point you are making. So that's a very common problem within the sector because they are not spending.
How can you have so much money in the surplus and early childhood education, which must be dealt with if we are going to deal with crime for the long term, and we're not putting in any money in it? What, that surplus cannot be spent?
Of course, that's the point I'm making too. That is why the people of Jamaica, they have a decision to make because these guys, they are not running our countries an accounting exercise. So apart from the missing 1.6 trillion, they're also misallocating the money that they have. So if you bring it down to a family, you're making more money, but your house is rotting down, your children not going to school, and then they are boasting and saying how much money you have in your bank account. Your wife is going to left you if you do that.
And we're paying off the loan faster than we need to.
Yep.
Is that still happening?
So if you brought that down to the level of a household, your wife, you couldn't have any money with your wife. You're making more money. You're paying the banks faster. You're not fixing the house. You're not sending the children to school. Yeah, that's madness.
Is
there
a friend relationship with the government and the banks? Because paying off the banks fast also benefit the banks, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm telling you that the two top officials in the government that deal with finance, they are conflicted. They are members of the banking sector, so that's natural.
So they're taking care of their friends?
Yeah, man.
While the poor people suffer?
Yeah, that's clear.
JUTC Ralston has been allowed to crash, run down to the ground over the 7-8 years that this administration is in power. What has that done to the production of the country and the efficiency?
Okay, good point. You know, Nigel Clark was at Mayberry's forum last week, and he was saying that how important transportation is to productivity. At least he knows that. And that is why he's now going to put money in the budget. So although they cut the budget, he says he's not going to leave money in the budget to buy 100 new buses, and those buses will come in sometime in June. So let's see, because transportation is one of the most important things to productivity, moving goods and people from point A to point B. If you can't do that, then you can't have productivity, and productivity is the only long-term sustainable way to contain inflation, not by jacking up the interest rates. When you're jacking up the interest rates, you slow down the economy and you put people out of work.
So it took Nigel Clark 6 years, because he has been the finance minister for about 6 years after Ardeshaw.
Yeah, man.
So it took him 6 years to learn that transportation is vital to the country's economy.
Precisely.
Very slow.
But he talks it. So he still has not implemented it. He's still telling us that we have to wait until June. So he's talking the talk now after 6 years. We're still waiting on the action.
The Prime Minister said when the economy get better, we look after the health care better. Does that make sense, Ralston?
No, that's an amateur. Everything has to work together. So you can't tell your wife, say, when you start make more money, then the children them can go to hospital. Everything has to work together. You're not operating a lab. You're operating life, which is dynamic. So everything, no matter how much money you make, everything in the house has to take place together at the same time. So the picnic, them have to go to school, them have to go to hospital. You can't come and look on your wife and say, hello, the picnic them sick. Them have to wait till we start make some more money before them go to the dentist and before them go to the hospital. That's stupidity.
So that's not being able to walk and chew gum.
Precisely. Whistle and ride.
They can't whistle and ride. They can't multitask.
Precisely.
I told some people the other day that an aeroplane is made up of over 2,000 parts. The country, Jamaica, have way more than that, millions, if not billions, of moving parts, and you have to attend to all of them at the same time.
All of them. You have to be able to juggle all of them variables, all of them balls at the same time if you're a credible leader. So that's a very incredible statement which speaks volumes about their ability to run the country, and you can see it on the ground in the country. This is deteriorating, that is deteriorating, that is deteriorating. Just total deterioration.
I told somebody the other day, I am a countryman, as you know, Ralston, from Portland, but we come to Kingston very often. Back in the early 90s, when you pass places like Temple Hall and Golden Spring, you used to see a large number of people gather up waiting on buses. And then in the late 90s, early 2000, coming up, when the JUTC got in, my concern going into Kingston was when I reached Temple Hall to start look out for the yellow bus, them come around the corner, bird speed.
Yeah, man, that was when Dr. Phillips basically fixed that problem.
Right, so we are back at the stage now where I am passing hundreds of people at Temple Hall and Constant Spring. Again, we gone back in time.
Yeah, because we only have 200 buses running. Ramshackle transportation system. We have gone back 500. In time. Yeah, and the losses are now $16 billion. So you don't have enough buses and the losses are multiplied to $16 billion.
Ralston, all these people say they're doing well. How?
Well, remember, they have to try and sell themselves, you know. It is for people like us, the university and the media, to do the analysis and explain to the people. The media are not doing a very good job right at this particular point.
I was just about to ask you about the Fourth Estate, how you think they are doing.
The university and the media has watered down to nothing. I remember at one stage, the Department of Economics, when you had people like Mike Witter, Claremont Curtin, Al Francis, Norman Gervan, they were more involved critically in public policy. Now, nothing. So the academia and the media are letting down the country. They are not explaining and doing the analysis for the people and explaining to the people.
And we have some analysts who are really political cronies who call themselves analysts.
Who have no. If you notice all of those analysts, they never give you any reference to any figures, and they never tell you where they get their numbers from. They are not analysts. They are just political activists parading as analysts.
Let's look forward, Ralston. The budget is coming. Talk to us about the budget that is coming for the next financial year.
Yeah, what they're going to do is keep it tight. So you're going to look at somewhere in the region of, I noticed that him cut the budget now. So I look at $1.15 trillion. They're going to do the same kind of allocation. They're not going to do anything that is major and different.
Hold on, explain something to me before I continue this. So they said that they shave off $3 billion off the budget, of the present budget. Explain that to us. What does that mean?
Well, it means that they'll spend $3 billion less than what they projected to spend. And what the minister is a kind of PR technique where the minister says, see, the election will come and we not overspend. But though them allocate the money that they're spending, they're allocated the same skewed way where their people get most of the money and the other people get less of the money. So it's a kind of PR thing because $3 billion is nothing coming from $1 trillion. If you take $3 billion off $1 trillion, that's like a joke.
But
so that's a PR thing.
But if you had planned the budget and say you would spend this, doesn't show some failure on your part to be able to spend what you said you were going to spend?
Yeah, well, listen, we can't spend the capital budget because we don't have the capacity to spend the money.
So you never know that when you plan the budget, you never know that?
That's the point I'm telling you. Stupidity, and this is not the first time he's saying that. This is something that he has been saying consistently. So it's a failure on his part to see that you have a capital budget and you don't have the capacity to spend the money when everything in the country is running down. Bringing back to a household, you said that you were going to allocate X amount of money to fixing up the house. And then you come and tell your wife, say, honey, I can't spend the money while the house are rotting down. Every day she cost you and I say, yo, you know, she said the window I want to fix, you know, she said the bathroom I want to fix. And you say, me have the money but we can't spend it. A joke.
So
you cannot bring everything to a household, you know, it's simple, you know.
So you don't believe that they are going to give a lot in this budget, look, based on the fact that a general election is also looming?
Well, the general election is looming somewhere in 2025. What they are going to do, remember, Clark is the minister that has done the most supplementary estimate apart from Ardisha. The one that he did Friday was the fourth supplementary estimate.
Right. Yes.
So when they read a budget, don't take it seriously because you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 changes.
More. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they might just nice up one figure where them feel like you look on
just
them
put
and
down some numbers and then them just come back and change them and everything. A very sloppy way of dealing with things.
I want to take you back in time a little bit, Ralston, because I want you to assist us with something. Because we hear this argument constantly and people bashing Dr. Omar Davis when he was finance minister because he made a statement that said he had to run with it. What are the projects that was taking place at the same time that Dr. Omar Davis said that he would not stop him have to continue with those projects? Could you list some of those for us?
Well, basically those were the road projects, the highway projects. That was basically Highway 2000 of those projects. But let me explain something. Mm-hmm. For something like running it to have significance, it means that you'd have to blow the fiscal accounts. Yeah?
Right.
Omar Davis was speaking at Meadowbrook, right, to some people. Mm-hmm. And some reporters sneaked into the thing. And he was saying that he was talking about the projects. And he said, boy, if it was another time, he would do them, but now he must run with it. You follow me?
Right.
Right. Now, the point we are making is that when Omar Davis became finance minister, Jamaica's debt to GDP, yeah? Because this is another myth that the people are spreading. And I'm saying to you that all of your people who are listening to you, who are sympathizers of the JLP, they must go and read an article because next thing when people like me say they must have because they're PNP. Mm-hmm. The Financial Times wrote an article, it came out last week.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
On the back of the IMF article 4 on Jamaica. And the Financial Times, David Wigglesworth is the writer from the Financial Times. And he referred back to the point in time when the JNP was in government, when the debt to GDP was 147%. Everybody at the IMF and the World Bank was laughing at us. He says it. When we said people say it's lie, we tell him. Right. Everybody at the World Bank, IMF, and IDB were laughing at us and saying, when them boy they're gonna fail.
And yeah? that was 2007 to 2011 when we had that GDP.
Precisely. They can go and read the article because the man is spot on. He says everything what we say. 147% debt to GDP, 6.1% fiscal deficit, 10.72% public sector deficit, 18.4% current account deficit. IMF never wanted to talk to us. We have to ask Maxine Waters and the Black Caucus to go over and talk to Christine Lagarde. He write all of that and all the people that used to laugh after us.
Right.
So that's one. When Omar Davis became finance minister, Jamaica's debt to GDP was 262% under Mr. Ciaga, JLP again. Omar Davis brought it down to 115%. So if you did run with it, the debt to GDP had gone up to 300%. You follow me? So Omar Davis again brought down the fiscal deficit from 8.9% of GDP to 5.5% of GDP. Follow me?
Yes.
Yeah? When he became finance minister, we had no reserves, minus 500 million. Omar Davis built up the net international reserves to 2.4 billion. We had no Financial Services Commission. Omar Davis created the Financial Services Commission and sent Brian Winter to run the Financial Services Commission. We had no deposit insurance. Omar Davis created the Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation. Omar Davis brought poverty from 30% under Mr. Ciaga to 9.9%. Omar Davis brought unemployment down from 20% to 9.9%. Those were the numbers that the JLP got when they became government in 2007.
Yes.
And the last time we grew by 3% was when Omar Davis was finance minister.
That's the last time we grew by 3%.
3%, yeah.
Ralston. FinSAC. There's this big argument about FinSAC. And I like to remind people that FinSAC was not the problem. FinSAC was the solution to a serious banking problem we had back then.
All right.
Why is
Your
it?
Problem.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So you notice that we have had 2 JLP administrations and they have never released the FinSAC report despite spending almost 150 million on it.
And the information is that it's ready.
Yeah. And you notice they have not released it after spending $150 million.
I guess they're waiting on election.
No, they are not going to release that. No. So why they never release it on the previous election?
Them think they had that one covered. They will release it in this one because they are in trouble
All
now.
right. Let's see. All right. Because that is going to put them in more trouble if they release it. So let's see. Anyway, FinSAC wasn't the problem. FinSAC was the solution. Omar Davis created FinSAC under the leadership of Dr. Gladstone Bonnick in 1997, following the failure of institutions starting with Blaze Trust, Central National Corporation,
Eagle
Workers
Merchant
Bank, Paul Chen Young's Eagle Group, NCB. That is almost a leeching get to buy NCB in case people never know. So what FinSAC did was to take the bad debts from those banks and to take the assets that they have and to sell the assets in order to get back taxpayers' money, because all those institutions borrowed significant amount of money from the Bank of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yes.
Yeah. They use the taxpayers' money to build all kinds of buildings like the Guardian headquarters, the Eagle headquarters up at Constant Spring in Manor Park and all of those things.
Yes.
So they tied up the people's money and then they had to go to Bank of Jamaica for money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happened is that Eagle went down with like 14 billion. NCB went down with 26 billion. Workers Bank 14 billion. Central National 7 billion. We were around at that time. I was the man who was marking Omar Davis. And none of them don't know what I'm talking about.
You were beating Omar Davis just like how you're beating Dr. Clark, innit?
Precisely. At that time, I was financial editor of the Jamaica Record and the Jamaica Herald. A lot of these guys just come, they don't know anything. Nigel Clark was in public life and all of those things. Anthony Olis was a junior minister at that time. Yeah?
Yes.
So that's what happened. So FinSAC was created to solve the problem. FinSAC wasn't a problem. At the end of the day, the government lost $140 billion because the assets that they sold were $140 billion short of the money that they lent to those bankers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ralston.
So the taxpayers had to got that. So the financial sector in Jamaica has cost the country a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. We're talking to Ralston Iman, and I say this without any fear of contradiction, the top financial analyst in Jamaica.
Across the Caribbean, and one of the best in the world.
All right, sir. Now, Ralston, the Prime Minister said that he did not get a growing economy from the Portia Simpson Miller-led administration in 2016. Speak to us about that.
Well, again, before them say the PNP talk, tell them go back and read the man from the Financial Times of London, because he mentioned all of that, David Wigglesworth.
Yes.
Yeah. So the fiscal deficit, when they took over, was 0.6% of GDP, and the economy grew for 3 consecutive years. Inflation was only 3.7%. So they got the economy in the best position of any government in Jamaica.
And when they got it, they were so excited that they said that they would grow the economy 5% in 4 years.
In 4 years, because the thing was on such a sound wicket.
How now, though? How come the Prime Minister now is making that kind of statement that he did not get a growing economy?
Because he's desperate, because they messed up everything and the people are suffering, and he's desperate.
But as a Prime Minister, you can't come tell them the blatant lie that Ralston, how people should look at you after that.
Yeah, well, I'm always tell lie, and so people know that the credibility is very low. Yeah, credibility is low because the whole world, IMF, so all of those who doubt you, they can read what the man of the Financial Times said. They can read what the IMF said. They can read what the World Bank said. They can read it on Statin. They can read it on IDB. Mm-hmm. They got the economy in the best position.
What have they done with the economy since 2016 to know, Ralston? How do you...
Well, if you notice, the most significant achievement that they talk about is reducing the debt to GDP. The debt to GDP came down from 147 to 120 after we did the Venezuelan deal. Mm-hmm. Then the definition of the debt was changed in 2017. They took out the Bank of Jamaica debt, and that gave them a significant break. And since then, they have been paying down the debt faster, and as a result of that, they have been sacrificing investments on things like roads, education, school, and all of those things. And that is why the life of healthcare, and that is why the life of the poor people is so hard. Mm-hmm. What Portia said, we are balancing lives while balancing the books. They are balancing the books while they are unbalancing lives.
They are destroying lives.
Precisely.
The Prime Minister said that they're going to spend a large amount of money to fix our roads. Mm-hmm. How do you see that?
Yeah, but there's a disjunction between what the Prime Minister is saying and what the Minister of Finance is doing. So the Prime Minister goes out and says, we are going to do this. And then the Finance Minister says, by the way, we're going to cut spending. We can't spend this money. So the two of them need to reconcile what they're saying and what they're doing. He's saying one thing and the Finance Minister is doing another thing.
You're serious.
Makes them look very stupid.
So give us some of the examples what the Prime Minister is saying where the Finance Minister is saying something different.
Well, the Prime Minister is talking about everywhere I'm going promise a project and this and that. And then on Thursday, the Minister of Finance came to the Parliament and said, by the way, I'm cutting the budget, I'm not going to spend any extra money in election. The capital budget are cutting it by $7.4 billion because we don't have the capacity to spend the money.
Right.
So the Prime Minister needs to reconcile with the Finance Minister why he's saying one thing and he's saying a different thing. And the person to listen to is the Finance Minister because he's the man with the money.
The Prime Minister's statutory filing, Ralston, has still not been certified going into 3 years. April is just around the corner. Speak to us about that.
That speaks seriously to the Prime Minister's credibility. So we do not, and we will not take anything the Prime Minister says seriously until his declarations are certified. And again, it comes back to the 1.6 trillion. The Office of the Prime Minister is also a part of the problem in relation to the 1.6 trillion. So the Prime Minister and his office is not setting a good example in terms of public accountability in the country.
But, Ralston, isn't it a law that the Prime Minister must file?
Yeah.
And that his filing should be made public?
Yeah.
The fact that his filing cannot be made public for over 2 years going into 3 years, how is that tenable?
No, it's not tenable. It could happen in another country and people accept it. But the people of Jamaica, they have resigned themselves. That's why them saying better than that. The people of Jamaica have resigned themselves to accepting anything. It could not be in another country. It couldn't be run in another country. On the stock exchange, on the stock exchange, if your audited reports are late and past a certain point in time, the company is suspended until you produce those reports.
Talk to me.
Yeah. The Prime Minister, that's until the Prime Minister not setting an example in terms of accountability.
But how can he continue to govern? That's
because
my question.
Because the people of Jamaica allow him to.
And even on the dawn of our local government election, which has been overdue, people are still wondering, will he call this election?
Yes. Yeah, man. So that's a very big problem, and that's why the country.
Who are the people who should be holding the Prime Minister to books? Because they don't have to go. Go ahead.
Well, the opposition has a big role. The media has a big role. Academia has a big role. Civil society has a big role. The ordinary man on the street, he's not busy them to them. I said, right now, let's try to survive, get some food to eat.
But isn't that at his own detriment?
Precisely. So it is the job of the media and the opposition and academia to inform him that this is important to your objective. They are not doing that right now. So what he's doing is just say, boy, we can eat some food today and what no man shoot me.
But it gets worse, Ralston, for the Prime Minister. Mm-hmm. It gets worse. The Integrity Commission said that there are 6 parliamentarians that they are investigating for illicit enrichment. With the Prime Minister's filing being unable to be certified for 3 years, doesn't that make him a suspect?
Of course. He's the prime suspect because what is known is that his thing has not been certified for 3 years. So right away, he's the prime suspect, and that is why he can't talk to the rest of the people, because he's the prime suspect.
But why is it that the media is not constantly asking him, I've never heard anybody ask him directly, Prime Minister, are you one of the 6?
Well, I don't know why they don't do it, but we do it on our program because we're focused on national.
But you don't interview him. I'm talking about the people who get a chance to interview him directly.
Well, I can't speak for them.
And why is it? Hold on. Why is it that when mainstream media practitioners get ministers on their program, they don't ask them, Minister, are you one of the 6? Don't you think it's time that the media, the journalists, the first question they should ask any minister or any member of parliament, are you one of the 6 before they start the interview?
Yeah, man. I don't know why they don't do it. We do it because we are concerned about these things. I don't know if they are not concerned about them. So only them could answer that. But we believe every Jamaican who is in a position, because the people on the street, they can't get to ask those questions. We are in a strategic position to ask the question that the people want answers to, and it is our responsibility to ask those questions. Academia has a role to, civil society has a role to.
I believe that our citizens not showing any patriotism. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, man. Jamaica is a place where there's no patriotism. It's every man for himself, and it starts with how the government operates. Every man for themselves. People just try to survive. That's the point I'm making. The poor man on the corner, him just want to make sure say him can eat some food because food prices are so high, and he want to make sure him stay alive because crime is so out of control. Him afraid man shoot him. So everybody just try to get by, and you can't have a country with a future where everybody just try to get by. Yeah.
We have looked at a lot of the problems, Ralston. If you get a chance to advise the next finance minister, what are some of the things that you'll be pointing to that we do urgently so as to start the growth?
The first advice I'd give to the next finance minister, pay the debt as scheduled and spend the surplus on boosting education, healthcare, transportation. That's one. Next thing I'd say to the next finance minister, you have to do something about the operations of the financial sector. So we have to make new laws like they're making in London, where the financial sector has to ensure that the ATM machines have money, the ATM machines are working, stop charging the nuisance fees and all of those things. So those are some of the things that I tell the next finance minister. Make sure you provide incentives for renewable energy. Make sure you provide more incentives for agriculture. Because if you look at the balance of payments, those are the things that Jamaica is spending the most money on. Make sure you enhance research and development because those are the things that are going to drive growth. 99% of the raw materials that we use in Jamaica to produce is imported.
99%.
So, precisely, yeah. So the raw material import bill is the next bill after the oil bill. That runs at 2.1 billion last year.
Over the food bill?
Yeah, man, the food bill was 2 billion. We import more raw materials than food. So the food bill was 2 billion, the raw material bill 2.1 billion, and the oil bill 2.5 billion. So the next finance minister must look at those bills and pursue policy to reduce those bills, while at the same time domestically pay attention to the exploitation of the people by the financial sector, and at the same time pay the debt on schedule, not faster than schedule, so that you have resources to spend on the country.
I'd want to add one thing to that. Julian Robinson and myself, we had a discussion once, and he told me that one of the policies that we need to ensure that we put in place when we get into government is that the food bill in our first term should be cut by at least 20% because we can't do better.
Yep. You have to cut the food bill, you have to cut the oil bill, you have to cut the raw materials import bill, and you have to immediately pay attention to the poor service that the financial sector are giving to the people of the country.
Why are these guys not seeing that though, Ralston? Like in the summer, we should cut our oil bill in the summer by at least half.
Yeah, man.
We have sun every God Almighty day.
Precisely. Schools keeping the day, so every school should be using solar.
Exactly.
Yeah. Government offices, solarization. Yeah. But they have to provide a policy framework, provide a fiscal incentives for people to go into those things.
Ralston, it's a pleasure talking to you. When we talk to you on a Saturday morning like this, we learn a whole heap and put a lot of the false news to rest. False news like we are exporting, our export has finally outweighed our import. I hope for that they're doing, Ralston.
Man, we're importing 4 times more than we're exporting.
I really hope for that day to come when we are exporting more than we are importing. Wouldn't that be lovely?
But we have to pursue deliberate policy to make it happen. Now we have to pursue policy.
Right. Anything you want to add before you leave us this morning?
All right, cool.
All right, my brother. Respect and thanks.
Blessings, Colin. Yeah,
one love. Right, we'll be in touch.
Yeah, man.
All right. Ralston Iman. We're talking about the top economists, analysts anywhere this side of the hemisphere. Eh? I was shocked. I was really shocked. I will be home to set up my... All right. I was totally shocked when I heard the minister said our export have outweighed our import. Labor rights are trying to sell that lie to the people of Jamaica. Unfortunate. Phone lines are open, 804-7072. Give me a call. Yeah, man. 804-7072. Oh, boy. Portland Spice TV. There you go. Give me a call. We talk about anything you want to talk about, you know. We are not limited to politics. We are verse. So the West Indies under 19 team, they have won their last 2 matches. I think they lost to South Africa. They beat England yesterday morning. And the West Indies senior team, they are also fighting down under in Australia. Australia made a sporting declaration, give us a lead of 20 and then they bowl us out for under 200. So we have a little lead of over 200. Australia, they are what, 60 little bit for 2. Ralston for governor of the Bank of Jamaica. Ralston sat on EPAC, you know, that financial advisory committee that was set up, I think, by Dr. Peter Phillips when we finally got an agreement from the IMF after the GLP wrecked the economy. And people not talking about that, you know. What the GLP did with the economy 2007 to 2011. They wreck the economy. Yeah? And Dr. Peter Phillips and Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller rescued this country. Rescue the country. And then the Prime Minister with his lying lips ready to come and talk about him never get a growing economy. As you heard Ralston said a while ago, they got the economy in the best shape ever. When they got it, they were so excited that they said that they were going to grow the economy 5% growth in 4 years. And when they asked Nigel Clark, the deceiver, in the interview, in the debate about it, he said it's the means to an end. They never really means it if it happen. And then you have fool journalists. Some of them I am so disappointed with, because at the time I had so much respect for them, to come and listen to nice talk without any substance, pure fluff. You know, seeing policing in America have me asking when and what we in Jamaica doing to make policing and ambulance service more effective for our citizens. You see, Fitzroy, when I talk to people about management, you need people to manage the country. So your politician should have more ability than just to tell lies. They must be able to manage. Your councillors must be able to manage the local economy, to manage a parish. And when you have a man who can't explain 2 to 1, because that's what the mayor was trying to do, you know, explain that him share the money 2 to 1. And who is going to bring this mayor to books? Who has admitted that he and his councillors get twice the amount of money the PNP councillors get? I want to tell you this. Me did in that council. The whole line in the council room, the table and turn over. Because you need every month take twice the amount you give me. I mean, sit down and accept that. Not accepting it. All of you are counselors. And I say it right here. If the PNP used to do it, it was wrong then. And Mia Paul Thompson is worship the Mia Paul Thompson. Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Mr. Mia, you are on fear. You are on fear. You know, but you did tell me one time, so you know, have to talk to the media. So when he told me that, Fitzroy, I said to him, Mr. Mayor, the office of mayor is not your personal office. It's not a private office. It's a public office that is financed by the taxpayers of this country. And you have a duty to answer to the people. And it is through the media, through journalists, that the questions are asked and publicized. So those of you who believe that you are so high and mighty and you have no obligation to answer questions from anybody, you have a next guest coming. You have a next guest coming. I see them running up and down all over the place. If you're overseas, you can call us on WhatsApp. You can call us straight. What a piece of schooling this morning. I want somebody to explain to me. If you're running a business, you have an employee, and the employee makes a $20 billion blunder. What would you do? The travel advisory put out on Jamaica was not only about health, it was about crime. And from memory of the advisory, it was only Portland, that wasn't listed as a parish with a whole heap of crime, as a no-go, in fact. The advisory list out the places that their citizens shouldn't go. And it's only Portland me never hear. So therefore, everybody should come to Portland. And that's why I said to the people of Portland, the parish needs management. And in the interview with the mayor on Nationwide, he also admitted that the councillors were not delivering. He admitted that, that the councillors were not delivering. Mystically.
Mr. Bell, how are you, brother?
You know, say, I'm good. God has been good to me,
And it's like a year, man.
May I tell you, it's been a while.
Like 2 years, man. Been a while. We haven't caught up on the grind here.
Yes, man. But you heard Ralston, brother?
Yeah, man. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. It can't be better, man.
Can I tell
you're
you?
Talking about, Fiscal, talking about Bank of Jamaica governor. We're talking about the finance minister of Jamaica. Yeah, but no prejudice.
He would have to
he would have to run politics before that could happen still, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I mean,
but I am sure that under any PNP government, Ralston would be somewhere close to the finance
minister. No, man, any PNP government and any progressive
government
with an intention to do things in an uncorrupt way, man. Yeah,
Yes.
in a way that can advance the cause of this nation. Because the man is a patriot, the man is a nationalist,
Yes,
and nobody
man.
can take that from him. Because you see the quality presentation
Yes.
that the man has made on the program, free of cost, bro.
Free of
In order
cost.
to get them breeder information from any of them little man we are jump up and down and talk about them at this and them at that, You have to pay them big money. You think you could have him on your program
But
without
most of them don't have that information neither,
They don't have it. But if them even make a contribution, whatever the kind or quality it may be, them all want you. No, you see my intellect and my expertise,
Yes. I'm a consultant.
Come at a cost, man.
Remember the government paid $1 billion for somebody to tell them to raise their salary by 200 and 300%.
Yeah, man, they pay $1 billion for do all kind of stuff in this country for printing money.
$1 billion for somebody to tell them that.
Yeah, man. They have $1 billion for do all kind of stuff in this country. Because $1 billion is the baseline fee for any contribution that you make to this government. That's yeah, man, it's the baseline figure, man. So it's not millions anymore, billions.
Billions they're talking now.
Give me $1 billion and I go and make a representation for you, man. Give me $1 billion. That's a starting point. You know what I mean?
My God.
Yeah. A contract now, starting baseline, is $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Listen to me, man. We're talking about contract. Brother.
Yeah.
$1 trillion. Brother.
Which one?
$1 trillion. Unaccounted for.
$1.6 trillion.
The man, them a chop hard, brother.
$1.6 trillion. And you know what this leads me to Mystical? To say to the GLP supporters, are you a patriotic GLP or a patriotic Jamaican? Because if you're a patriotic Jamaican, you must ask these questions, The permanent minister, the permanent secretaries are responsible, but it is the politicians are their supervisor because we pay the politicians to supervise them.
Brother, no, it's not a small talk this on a Saturday morning, It's not a small talk, This rise to a different level of conversation, This go to the grain of our existence, our future, You can imagine 60% of our gross domestic product cannot be accounted for.
How long you hear me saying that this country needs a forensic audit?
Why?
How long you hear me saying that?
Yeah, man, I concur with you, because that's my mantra too, brother. That's my mantra,
Needs a forensic audit, and to do so, we must move out.
Yeah, man, these people have to exit the stage, because it is clear that consistently, because if you can amass, 1.6, hey, listen to me, man, trillion we're talking about, What was our budget for 2022, 23? Or 23, 24? 23, 24.
So the amount unaccounted for is budget for a year.
Lord. No, I wonder if anybody in them conscious talk would have sit down.
But
yeah?
But you're the miserable part. The office of the Prime Minister is included.
Of course, but it has always been included consistently each year. There is question, about the administration and the appropriation of accounts in the Prime Minister's office. Then if the chief servant in a personal capacity, right? And it's not even a personal capacity, but it's personal resources, cannot be accounted for, then what do you expect? Like, you extrapolate that. You extrapolate that, bro. You cannot have a prime minister or a president or the leader of a country, where there is questions surrounding his integrity. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It cannot be, you know.
You see, it
And we
terribly,
sit
you know,
down comfortably.
and as I said a while ago, people who are supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party, don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing with you supporting your party. But like Malcolm X said, that any man that chooses weight behind a political party, and that political party controls 2/3 of the government, and they are unable to deliver on the promises, and you continue to support them, you are not just an invalid, but you are a traitor to your country.
But to deliver, yeah, concur, but to deliver on promises, you know, is one, you know.
Yes.
But to be in a position where you cannot account
for the people's money,
for the people's resources, you know.
Your integrity has not been certified.
Listen to me, man.
It's your integrity, you know, because when you file your taxes is what you put on the document. The integrity commissioner is saying, no, this, we can't certify this. I have questions. And they have been having questions for some time, and the Prime Minister can't answer.
Question. This is the most serious outstanding question, you know.
So what I mean?
This is the most serious of them all. Yeah? So what it says to me, we are living in a country that is totally compromised at all levels, corrupt at all levels. When you can rise up from your alignment with a political party, when your conscience and your credibility can stand out to defend you as an individual. You see where I am now, Colin?
Talk to me.
You know what I'm looking at? I am looking at, I'm just using you as an example, or me as an example, or another person as an example, and to see how aligned you are, how defensible you are to politics, to the leadership and the leaders and the government of this country. Yeah? I qualify you, you know, based upon what you support, you know, brother.
Yes.
If you support misappropriation, if you support illegality, yeah? If you support everything that marks down an administration, I can see, you can stand out to me as a person of integrity, you know.
Talk to me.
You cannot stand out to me as a person of credibility, yeah? If you support a government, if you support an organization, if you support a person who has not displayed the level of integrity and uncorruptibility or incorruptibility, yeah? It can't be that questions surround you and I'm healing you. No. I can't heal you, yeah? I can heal you when you have exonerated yourself by showing indeed that you are uncorrupt, showing indeed that you're worth the seat that you sit on. No, Jamaica is in a dangerous position, you know, man. Jamaica, you know, sits up on a volcano, you know, brother. No, we are deep crisis, you know, and people run up and down and going on as if everything is cool, you know. It is not cool. Me always say, you know, Colin, if we don't get rid, yeah, and anybody can jump on and tag, you know, because if you can see that we need to get rid of this quality and kind of administration, yeah, we are in deep waters, you know. We are in the pits. Soon and very soon, all of us will be swallowed up because there is nowhere else that we can go but sink deeper and deeper in this mire, you know. Because there's nothing that is being done to create a difference or to cauterize or to create a change, you know.
Understand.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody is putting their foot forward to make a difference, you know.
Mystical.
Lies and hypocrisies.
For me, it seems like a lot of people are just sitting down and see if they can grab something out of it, you know, brother.
But how long the grab can last, brother? The grab can last for a day. What about the future of you and your family? What about the future of the country? It is on a trajectory whereby in another 5 years, Jamaica shall be like a Haiti. If we don't do something about it now, this wild you can imagine you lead a country and you're a government, yeah? And we cannot see your contribution making a fundamental difference in the lives of our people. Education is down to the ground. The international assessment
you heard
of
that
our
assessment.
education.
You heard the assessment.
Below average or 15-year, you know what is that? They are in the prime of your educational life. You know?
We are ranked in the last 10. That's where we are.
So the critical
and instead of the minister coming and say, we need to do something about this, she's finding a way to look at some countries and say, but we are ranked with these countries.
Rank with these countries. You know, see what the people are more important. I mean, these people are more important than the country and the advancement of the country because they are trying to protect their little ego, yeah, at the expense of all of us. Because when it is identified that this is the state and condition of your portfolio or the country in general, you stand in defense. You're not even penitent to say, well, yeah, this is a misstep. This becomes problematic because we have moved in a way that is not consistent in the way we should move. Yeah, them justify it. So it means that the condition will persist.
Them man justify everything mystical. Everything
the chief pillars, of development, the chief indicators of development, man. Yeah? What are the chief indicators? We have one, health, education, basic, education,
transportation,
health. And if we put in the others, because
security.
Nothing exists without us.
Yeah.
So health is about us being alive and well to perform the task. Yeah? Education is about our ability. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's about knowledge. Yeah? It's about what we bring to the fore, to bring solution. Yeah? To understand where we are in life and to make a surge forward. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So the two basic or the two bases of our fundamental are just out of sorts.
Mystical.
Health is nowhere.
Health is nowhere. Nowhere. In fact, I hear that said that they're going to make a type 5 health center in Portmore.
Type 5 health center in Portmore.
What you're talking about? We should be building a state-of-the-art hospital in Portmore. I heard Dr. Dawes spoke about it, that they're missing an opportunity when they're putting that new hospital into Spanish Town. They should put a state-of-the-art hospital into Portmore and upgrade the one in Spanish Town.
But Dr. Dawes name have to come tell me that, man. A little sense is, we could have detect that is a more rational and feasible.
And you're talking about you want Portmore to become a parish.
No, this is plain partisan political move, man.
Gerrymandering.
Why no hospital in Portmore? Partisan political move, because they see Portmore politically along the corridors of Michael Manley and its development. These people are partisan political, yeah? Everything they do is partisan, everything they do is political, giving 2-to-1 allocation in the council and wherever. Partisan, political, choosing the road to be fixed here and there. Partisan, political, choosing who get job from who don't get. Partisan, political.
Something that we got information that happened in the Portland Parish Council, mystical. A placement for a job was advertised, and a young lady applied, did the interview and got the highest mark. In fact, she got maybe 2-to-1 over the closest person. They gave her the job, and within a week, she was fired because they found out that her parents are aligned to the People's National Party.
Yeah, man. This is not a country, man.
That's the level of victimization that takes place by the directors, some of the directors of the Portland Municipal Corporation.
Man, You see the level of education and the level
And
of
then
patriotism
you
and nationalism.
then you come on radio can talk about you get the PNP take 100% and give you 50%.
Well, I mean, when I refer to that when we are talking,
He was drunk on his anger.
You know, make look good up there.
None at all.
You know, make look good up there.
I remember we have one ex-leader where it say we have 13 parishes in Jamaica. we look real bad.
Man, look beneath the primary, you know, man.
Can I tell you? And then when the man get the next chance to explain himself, them get $10, then give him $50. Oh, yeah.
No. I hear me on that, you know, brother. So just leave him alone, brother. I hear me, you know. Just hug him up,
but this is the man who sits down and allows some people to take away the Blue Lagoon from the people who down there.
Listen to
this
me,
is
man.
the man who was on radio.
Entire.
He was on radio and saying that him no know who put the barrier across the road on a Blue Lagoon.
I heard him.
Him no know who appear the security them down there. But at the same time as the mayor, who have the power to say to the superintendent of police, go move them out of my road. He has not done that.
I tell you this. If the next 5 years, is allocated to this present administration, you can bid farewell to your even piece of property where you sit down on the upper bowl.
Guys, a serious land grabbing a going around here, no, brother.
Hey, me say you can bid farewell to Jamaica and its future and its people, you know. Yeah? Because all the lands will be taken. First thing they will make sure them do. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Prevent Jamaica from having its organic, indigenous, creative production. First thing they will do, prevent you from having agriculture as a primary era of production, so that we can sustain ourselves. Yeah, we have food sustainability. You think this is not deliberate? It is deliberate. It is deliberate to concretize the entire fertility of the soil around here. It is deliberate.
Yes.
Yeah? You think these people come without a deliberacy? They come without an assignment. They come with an assignment. Check them history, no, brother. Yeah? They come with an assignment.
You know the truth, though? Not all of them have the assignment, you know. There are some who come with the assignment. But then we also choose some cowards to put into certain area, and the man with the assignment brother, just goes, hey, boy!
Then they're a part of the assignment, man. Yeah, come at all different levels. You know, man.
Well, you have a point. Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. All different levels.
No, this is not joke business. No. Their assignment is to make Jamaica, poor, and themselves rich. You can imagine people who you have elected to serve you and to create a sense of equality and justice around here. All of them become billionaires and millionaires
overnight
in one term. Overnight.
Yeah?
You know, see what is happening? $1.6 trillion. Yeah.
The Auditor General cannot reconcile the books.
Yeah, Auditor General is prevented
and you know the wickedest part about it, Mystical? All these ministries have what you call internal auditors, you know.
Of course,
so,
sir.
What are you paying these internal auditors to do?
Them can't do nothing. Them intimidated. Yeah.
They are there to ensure that the things are very close to finalize, you know. So when the Auditor General come in, them supposed to be able to hand over everything, because they are there every day working to ensure that the books are reconciled and are kept up to date. And for 10 years,
brother,
this has not been happening.
A strong arm and bullyism and intimidation around this place, you know.
Gangsterism.
Nobody nah stand up, you know, brother. Everybody sit down, yeah? Everybody sit down. Nobody standing up, yeah? The few people only stand up. I mean, it come like so them not say nothing because them not join. the congregation, yeah, they are celebrating nothing. You get what I'm saying? So check it. Check the transportation sector. What is different? You think them not come to mash it down. Everything that you set up that inures to the benefit of the Jamaican people around here. When they come, they mash it up. Check it, my man.
But why you sit down?
You check it for yourself. Not let me echo nothing.
I have to listen to you, but because the question is, why would you sit down and watch even the transportation system just deteriorate and go down to zero?
Yeah, man.
And then you go on like you can't fix it. Me here, one man say, give him 6 months. Where were you all the time?
Brother, so you may have showed, say, okay, so $80 we have to pay now, next time we have to pay 70 and probably we have to pay 50. What is that? It is a recipe for what? Destroying the boss. Because if you run a business, yeah, where your expenses outweigh by far your income, yeah?
You heard Ralston say $16 billion we're losing now at JUTC.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I not say national transportation no outweigh income in most places, but at the rate at which there is this
not
gap.
This level.
Yeah, at this gap.
I remember there was a time when the JUTC was very close to even breaking even, you know.
Yeah, but proper management, proper management is the hallmark of a good outcome, even when it is expensive, you know.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Proper, efficient, and effective management.
But brother, let me tell you something.
Compensate.
Them people that can't run nothing. May I tell you that straight?
It will never happen, brother.
They can't run
The only
nothing.
thing them people are there to do, have to make sure them people rake in and we rake out. All them do are paint a picture and get our eyes grabbed on it and we are focused on it while them do the rest.
I want to tell you something. On the 1st of January, a cruise ship came to Port Antonio and never come into the harbor. Turn back.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier this week, another one came and never dock. Does the people of Portland get any report, any official report to say these are the reasons why this ship did not dock and passengers disembarked? Nobody speaks to the people of Portland about nothing that happened in Portland, you know.
Well, nobody never talk to nobody about none, because nobody don't care about none. So,
nobody
when the darkness
reports to the
overtake
people.
them, they wouldn't even know so them in the darkness.
Can I tell you?
You get what I'm saying?
The place
Every
dark.
people have a standoff approach, yeah? And these people feel emboldened to continue to do what they do. Because, I mean, they can't be held accountable. I mean, come on. I mean, we do what we do, yeah?
And the Prime Minister will come out and turn it on.
Yeah, man, you can turn it on, man. But it's one thing, me knowing, man. The people have reached their threshold of tolerance, you know, man.
You think they're going to call the election?
I exceeded their threshold of tolerance, yeah.
You think they're going to call the election?
I don't know what them intend to do, you know, because you can't trust these people, you know, to do what is right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trust them to do what is right. They may find a good reason to postpone it. You may find a big jailbreak. You may find GP have a jailbreak or St. Catherine District Prison have a jailbreak.
So we have a whole heap of prisoners running around.
Yeah, man. So it become a national emergency. So we that have to stay until. Remember me tell you, brother. These people, anything, you know, see how much jailbreak you are going right, you know. Is it indicative of something to come? We don't know. Maybe a prophecy, we don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Or something that they will put in the mix in order to forestall them coming to terms with the people. Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about what is happening down here in Portland in the politics. Mm-hmm. Down in West Portland, the party has thrown out sitting councillor Stephen Williams and have replaced him for the upcoming local government election.
When the man not get us steer.
Yeah, man, but you know, say, a bad man business. Them not paying no mind. They have installed a new candidate. And it is also my information that they have thrown out the sitting councillor, I think, what Henry name? I know him last name is Henry.
Where?
From the Oak Bay division.
Mm-hmm.
they have thrown him out as well. And he's a sitting councillor. They
Mhm.
made an attempt to throw out the sitting councillor for the Buff Bay division. And information reaching Portland Spice TV is that the workers told the MP that he better him go.
Hey, brother, you know, me no laugh.
But I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I told my source that I would have to be in that meeting with my ears proper cleaned out
You
and
know,
looking at the faces and hear those people tell him that. I don't believe them tell him that. But she has survived.
yeah.
She has survived. So the only one I hear that them don't make a real serious attempt at is the deputy mayor. So they're cleaning the entire house down there in West Portland because the polls
What
have
is behind that now? What is behind that? There's something
the
surreptitious,
polls,
man.
the polls. But then again, you know, you have some people, you say, if you don't agree with them they're not with you.
Okay.
Once you don't say yes to them. And that's why I'm saying to the people of Portland and East Portland that your councillor should be independent of the member of parliament.
Yeah,
Your
of course.
councillor should not be the member
Of
of
course.
parliament yard boy or the member of
Exactly.
parliament helper.
At two different levels, you know,
It's
man.
two different levels and it's separation of power.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? And the mistake Portland made to put the entire power of Portland in one house on one bed is a major mistake. And
Yeah.
when you're going to choose your councillors now, your councillor is supposed to be somebody who can stand up on their own. And
Definitely.
if the MP is not doing what the MP is supposed to do, the councillor must be able to call him out. And if the councillor not doing what they're supposed to do, the MP must be able to call him out. You can't choose somebody who, if the MP said jump, him jump. And if the MP is talking crap, him there stand up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
that cannot be your councillor.
Yeah. But the MP should have been the coordinator, the supervisor, you know, man. And the councillors are the feet on the ground, you know. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Them make the thing happen, you know, and them man they just sit with that, yeah, them things they happen, whatever. And this is why we have to have some changes in the local government. We have to have real reform.
And I think we need to take some time to educate the people what your parish council, your local government, your municipal corporation is really about and what your councillors are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
They are supposed to be representing you, to look out for you, to take care of the local economy, to ensure that the systems in the parish run right.
Yeah, man, this is street light and road and culvert and drain, and that make no sense, you know.
I just want to bring one point to the people listening. Your councillors, at a certain time of the month, they sit as the local board of health, you know. So they're responsible for the health system in your parish.
Yeah, man.
I am going to make a suggestion to my shadow minister that under the PNP administration, the council must also sit as the local board of security. Yeah,
man. Police, yeah, you're right. It must be like we're going to US, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The council, you know, the mayor, you know, is in charge of a lot of portfolios, you know.
Yeah, man, but I don't know that.
Yeah, man.
Mystical.
Because monthly, you know, monthly in the council when I was at a different place, you know. And you have what is called what was it called again? Yeah, where different arms of government would come together.
It is the public
meeting
of sitting of the parish council. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. They have to
different,
come and
different
report.
Arms would come, police
come,
all
fire
the different
come,
arms.
GPS come, water come.
Definitely.
Because it is the council that runs the parish, you know. And all these agencies are answerable to the councillors. The councillors are the directors. The mayor is the chairman.
Yeah, but we can't have nobody when we have a numeracy problem.
It cannot be. You can't explain 2 to 1.
Colin, you see, sorry, we're local government is concerned because it's a pivotal entity, in the transformation of our communities, of our local, pivotal. And it's
Yes.
not just, as I said, to do the public cleansing and
It
to
is
do
one of the reasons why we are
eco-
feeling, mystical.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Development has to start down there. Yeah, I mean, and you have
Yes.
to have the people who are grabbed with the kind of knowledge that is required. Yeah,
Mhm.
to stimulate that and to create, ideas. And to enjoin the people's interest into your interest. Or your interest should be the
Yes.
people's interest and advance that cause. And so, with a work to eliminate a ministry like the Ministry of Local Government, so all the money, hey, you see, if all the monies were coming in, like what are coming to the Ministry of Local Government, and him stay up there and decide who get this and who get that.
Mhm.
No, and it was coming in an equitable way
Yeah.
to all the councils. Don't you think there would be more if they are capacitated, they would be able to carry out more efficiently
But
which is required on the ground?
But mystical, at the end of the show, I'm going to play 5 minutes of the interview with the mayor. Councillor Wayne Mackenzie was also on the interview.
Mhm.
But something else that struck me in that interview, the mayor said that they are disgruntled labor rights because the more they get is the more they want, and those who get the most are the most disgruntled. My understanding from it is that it's pure handout. And I am calling again on the Auditor General to audit the Portland Municipal Corporation. And my reasons for this is that there are two divisions in Portland that are without councillors, one for over 2 years and one for over 3 years. And there have been no accountability of how these monies are spent in these divisions. One division is under the control of the mayor and one under the control of the deputy mayor. And I am saying that no work has been done in these two divisions. And I am just saying to the people of Fairy Hill and Fellowship, precisely now, that in the upcoming local government election, you should only vote PNP. And I tell you why. If the GLP believed that you needed a councillor, they would have done something for you to have councillor for the last 2 years and the last 3 years. The fact that they sat down and allow you to have no local representative, you should look at them.
That's true, man.
And the Auditor General must check now how those money in those two divisions were spent. Because I tell you something mystical. There's a drain down at Berrydale where flood out the same set of people twice. And you'd believe that after it flood them out the first time, the council would come in and clean the drain. No. Them not clean them. It flood out the people a second time. And if we get a big shower rain now, it will flood them out again because the drains are still not cleaned.
So what the people are do about that, brother?
Well, the people are
waiting. What the people are doing about that? Them so docile, them so loyal.
No, man, they are waiting.
To a color.
They are waiting on the time to do their thing.
Okay.
I guarantee you that they're waiting on the time. But Mystical, it's a pleasure talking to you. I'm going to
Respect, man. We talk again.
I don't know how much of that interview with the mayor you heard.
I just heard the arithmetic part.
Well, listen. I'm going to play 5 minutes side.
Yeah, man. Play that. I can get a
I'm going to play 5 minutes of this interview.
All right.
Listen it. Yeah, man. Now, we are going to play a little more than we want to hear of this interview. Here we go.
I can declare my division. My division, okay. I don't even have to campaign. But the other divisions, they are.
Let me start it again. Can you hear the man say? Even have a campaign.
Because I can declare my division. My division, okay. I don't even have to campaign. But the other divisions, they are issues really. But we can overcome those issues because they are not major issues. However, there are some of the councils who tend to not really doing what they're supposed to do during the 7-year period that they were counselors. However, I think...
And when you say there are issues, yes, to overcome, what are those issues?
Well, you know, some people just can't be satisfied. There are some people, the more they get is the more they want. And they are never satisfied. The councillors will do things for them. But what I realize, the people that get the most, they are the ones who are most ungrateful. And those that get less, they are the ones who still stick out for you and they will work for you and do everything for you.
And Wayne McKenzie, certainly you sense a certain level of fortunes turning in the favor of the PNP this time?
Well, yes, the great fortune, one of the is the...
Mr. Bell, good morning.
Morning, you're live.
Yes, I just want to say something to you.
Go ahead.
I'm living in Montego Bay,
Yeah.
and I've heard the leader of opposition tell us who is the candidate for our era for a long time, and up until now, we have not seen anybody. We have not seen anybody come in the community and even say, "Well, then I am this and I am that."
You're talking about your councillor candidate?
Be that the councillor or the MP or nobody at all.
Which constituency are you in St. James?
In Dr. Chang, yes.
Oh, for Dr. Chang.
Yeah, we need somebody to come around with the people and see them and don't wait till election. Nobody will come on and say, I am this and I am that.
All right.
We're not into that. So it's the paradise area.
I will find out. I will
find out
exactly
and tell the man
to
to come to the area and walk with the people and see him.
All right, sir.
That's what we want. We don't want to win the election because if you come one day before election, I'm not voting.
No, vote for him. Me understand.
No, because I'm not going to vote for nobody who I don't know.
All right, sir. All right.
Yeah, so yeah, I did send a message to you, because I really want to talk to somebody about this because the election is coming up near.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will reach out to Nikisha.
It's it's not Nikisha.
No,
it's not.
But the fact that is not Nikisha, is not Dr. Arton.
It is the Northwest. I think it's what's his name, Bernard something or the other.
All right, but
as
I said, I will talk to Nikisha because Nikisha is somebody I talk to regular, so I'll talk to her.
Yeah, man. Please let them know that we need somebody to come around. We're not looking any handout, but somebody to come around because we're not going to vote for anybody who we don't know.
And you want a chance?
Of course.
I hear you, my boss. Me respect it.
Yeah.
All right.
We need this thing to change. Too much thieving and criminal
business. Too much corruption, man. Too much corruption.
And I hope Mark is coming to do something for the people. Something.
As Mark said, now come for scrape nothing because I'm having it already.
We know that, Mr. Bell. But sometimes he's not doing it, but the people around him.
Him alone can't win it. Everybody have a fall in, so we need that constituency too. Thanks for the call, my brother.
And respect.
Blessings.
Yeah.
All right, so I could continue. This tape here.
That this GLP-led council really lack the basic ability to understand what their roles and functions are. As the mayor would have said a while ago about the discontent and those who get much and their attitude as against those who get least. But it is something that I am a bit baffled about the yearly statement. Because representation goes beyond the who get what. Representation is about how well you work for the people generally within your division. But my greatest challenge with this council, JP-led council, is how they manage the entire situation as management of the parish. So the people realize that they have not been doing their job, they don't understand their role, and therefore the each representation and belief and respect for democracy, they believe nothing in that.
Give me some examples of what you're talking about, Mr. McKenzie.
Let's take for instance, since 2016, there has been a very shameful demonstration of the leadership of council, even as it relates to people being employed to council. There's been a partisan type of leadership in every aspect, and there are some functions that they don't care about. Of course, there are basic things that will be done because I will continue to give great respect and regard to the administrative arm of council, and they will do their best in guiding the process. But the way things are done, it is a shame. We really need a change of leadership of council to give greater hope to the people and to the parish.
Mayor Thompson, you want to respond to that?
I didn't hear that clearly, and in any way, the reception is not so good. Could you repeat what you were saying?
Mr. Mackenzie is suggesting that there's a certain level of partisanry on the part of how you allocate certain benefits at the municipal level.
Mr. Mackenzie cannot come to this on this platform and say anything like that. What I have done is what he was practicing when he was the mayor. When he was the mayor and he gets the funding from the ministry, he shares it in a 50, 100% basis. He gives the JLP 50% and they take 100%. And it is evident right now that is exactly what I'm doing.
Hold on. That math's not sound right. If you get $100 million, you take 100% and get the PNP 50.
Get half of it.
No, that's not no. Something
that's what he was doing.
No, but you can't have 150% or something, sir. How much would he take and how much would he give the PNP?
If he gets $10 to share for the councillors.
Yes.
If the PMT would get 100 or $50 out of the $10, and his JLP will get $25.
Oh, hold on. Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Arithmetic not right. Him get $10. Him get
all right.
$10.
Let me break it.
Yeah, so you get him get $10 for spend, right? Total.
And the JLP get $5.
50%, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And the PNP and the JLP and the PNP would get how much?
The PMP gets, whenever time the PMP gets any money, whether $20 or $10, if they get $20, the JLP get $10.
Oh, so
if they get $10, the JLP get $5.
So it's 50-50 share it.
Right.
Oh.
Wanna listen? You hear the mayor? Mansion Hill people don't hear the mayor? Hallelujah. Yeah, Anthony, I know them go bury the yesterday. But they're running around like headless chicken. But nobody in the fellowship division and the ferial division, the truth of the matter is, and tell me if I'm wrong. You see them two division there? GLP not forget one vote in the upcoming local government election. Not one. The councillor and the fellowship division died in 2020. And if they believe in local government and say that them want the people to get representative, they are in government. They could have called a by-election. They could have. But they did not believe that the people in fellowship need any local representation because they want to control everything. The MP, the councillor for the ferial division, I think, died in 2021. And them never budge either. Nothing. Neither the mayor or the deputy mayor has ever kept a meeting in any of those divisions and said to the people, this is how we are going to do things. The fact that I was not elected by you guys, but I am going to be here to assist. Nothing, no time. And the member of parliament never call anybody to books. So they don't care about us. So all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. So especially for those two divisions. And I want to make a special plea to the people in Mansion Hill that the mayor have the authority to retake the road in Blue Lagoon that has been taken away. It's a parish council road that has been taken away. I don't know who take it away, but there's a barrier there and there are security guards. and the mayor have the authority to fix that, and he's doing nothing about it. The mayor is a weakling. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace, now and forevermore. Until we meet again next week, Colin Anthony saying, take care of your number one. May God bless you. Where we there? Morning. Somebody call me from a private number and run. Me take every call. Morning and welcome.
Morning, teacher. Wagwan.
You call right at the end of the show. Talk to me.
We have everything blessed.
Most things good enough. We not complain about nothing.
Most things. Brother, may I listen to that interview there? I really the person there at the mayor to Portland.
Yes, at the mayor that Brooks. Me soon call you back. Other person there at the mayor for Portland, brother.
No man. The people have to do better than that, brother. We can't choose people for favoritism. Because, brother, if you can't do audition, how you gonna lead me?
And you can't explain a basic 2-to-1 because I know what he was trying to say, but him couldn't say it. And all when him get 3-4 bite at the cherry, him still couldn't say it.
Brother, the man say if you get 20 and the man get $5 and get $10 and him get $10. Not 50-50.
Oh, it sound like your dad Jamaica, so.
Brother. Yo.
Come here, see if your dad Jamaica, you know.
Yo, but they have a brother.
All right. All right. So we shall link up.
We shall link up, sir.
Yeah, man.
But that may have need to change. Put somebody sensible.
No, and that's why I'm calling on the people of Mansion Hill not to re-elect him. Not to re-elect this man.
Yeah,
and
man,
not just because of his poor mathematics, but because of that Blue Lagoon issue. You are the mayor.
Yeah.
There's a parish council road. And he was on an interview on Nationwide telling the host that him don't know who paid the security guard with Black Theme Road.
I mean him don't know who paid them.
That's what he told him in the interview.
Then he don't need to move them, then if he don't know who paid them.
That's all I'm saying. Call the
you can't
superintendent
black
of police and move them. This man cannot be returned to the Portland Parish Council.
No, man. You can't black public road.
And you hear him at the top of the interview? Him say him now for campaign.
No.
I'm going to play it again before I leave this morning.
Him not for campaign. That means him a disrespect the one people
him say him not have a campaign.
Yeah,
it
man.
Done up there, so.
Yeah.
Him
win already. Him win already.
That's what I must say.
Thank you, sir.
That's what I must say.
Bless up yourself.
Make we talk. I'm going to drop back the interview.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. I'm going to drop it back.
All right, my brother.
Respect. Make I drop back that interview. They're going to close with it. I'm coming off people. But I'm going to play it back for now.
I can declare my division. My division, okay. I don't even have to campaign. But the other divisions, there are issues really. But I can declare my division. My division, okay. I don't even have to campaign. But the other divisions, I can declare my division. My division, okay. I don't even have to campaign. But the other divisions, there are issues really. But we can overcome those issues because they are not major issues. However, there are some of the councils who tend to not really doing what they're supposed to do during the 7-year period that they were councillors. However, I think...
And when you say there are issues, yes, to overcome, what are those issues?
Well, you know, some people just can't be satisfied. There are some people, the more they get is the more they want. And they are never satisfied. The councils will do things for them. But what I realize, the people that get the most, they are the ones who are most ungrateful. And those that get less, they are the ones who still stick out for you and they will work for you and do everything for you.
And Wayne Mackenzie, certainly you sense a certain level of fortunes turning in the favor of the PNP this time?
Well, yes, the great fortune, one of the issues is that this GLP-led council really lack the basic ability to understand what their roles and functions are. As the mayor would have said a while ago about the discontent and those who get much and their attitude as against those who get least. But it is something that I am a bit baffled about the hear that statement. Because representation goes beyond the who get what. Representation is about how well you work for the people generally within your division. But my greatest challenge with this council, JP-led council, is how they manage the entire situation as management of the parish. So the people know, people realize that they have not been doing a job, they don't understand their role, and therefore the each representation and the belief and respect for democracy, they believe nothing in that.
Give me some examples of what you're talking about, Mr. Mackenzie.
Take for instance, since 2016, there has been a very shameful demonstration of the leadership of council, even as it relates to people being employed to council. There's been a partisan type of leadership in every aspect, and there are some functions that they don't care about. Of course, there are basic things that will be done, because I will continue to give great respect and regard to the administrative arm of council, and they will do their best in guiding the process. But the way things are done, it is a shame. We really need a change of leadership of council to give greater hope to the people and to the parish.
Mayor Thompson, you want to respond to that?
I didn't hear that clearly, and in any way, the reception is not so good. Could you repeat what you were saying?
Mr. Mackenzie is suggesting that there's a certain level of partisanry on the part of how you allocate certain benefits. Certain benefits at the municipal level.
Mr. Mackenzie cannot come to this on this platform and say anything like that. What I have done is what he was practicing when he was the mayor. When he was the mayor and he gets the funding from the ministry, he shares it in a 50, 100% basis. He gives the JLP 50% and they take 100%. And it is evident right now that is exactly what I'm doing.
Hold on. That math's not sound right. If you get $100 million, him take 100% and get the PNP 50.
Get half of it.
No, that's not no. Something
that's what he was doing.
No, but you can't have 150% or something, sir. How much would he take and how much would he give the PNP?
If he gets $10 to share for the council.
Yes.
If the PMP would get 100 or $50 out of the $10, and his JLP will get $25.
But hold on. Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Arithmetic not right. Him get $10. Him get
all right.
$10.
Let me break it.
Yeah, so you get him get $10 for spend, right? Total.
And the JLP get $5.
50%, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
And the PNP and the JLP and the PNP would get how much?
The PNP gets, whenever time the PNP gets any money, whether $20 or $10, if they get $20, the JLP get $10.
Oh, so
if they get $10, the JLP get $5.
So it's 50-50 share it?
Right.
Oh.
Never give up the fight, even though it's not an easy life. Boy, open up your eyes. Come on, you are an Israelite. Your time will come. Time will come. Push you. Your time will come. Time will come. It will come. Boy. So don't worry, my sister. Don't worry, dear brother, man. When the pressure trap you in the corner, still we have to carry on, carry on. Though the load may be heavy, journey may be long. Don't let them trap you in the corner, still we have to carry on. Oh.